Look at my first review on the main channel for Kabam Studios movie, and my first movie review of 2019. And of course, we're gonna start off with not 2019, 2020. Of course, we're gonna start off with a movie that came out in 2019 that I actually saw late. But this movie came out on Christmas Day, which is just bad time. Let me go get something real quick. Both movies. This film is a Blue Sky animated film. And this, of course, is Spies in the Skies. I did not get to see this at Christmas time. I also missed Cats. I'm sorry. I'm going to catch up with a couple movies I missed. Next week, I'll be seeing Little Women if it is still playing. If it's not, unfortunately, I'm going to have to miss it. I'll try to see Just Mercy and Underwater this weekend. At least one of those. And I might save like Underwater for Tuesday or something like that. I don't know. But I unfortunately missed Cats. It's no longer playing in a theater near me, and I'm not going to go see 1917, unfortunately. So, yeah, that's where we are with my movie review right now. I got things I want to get done. I have a Proud Family video coming up. I want to talk about the Proud Family. I also have a video about Queen. Look better if I had thick, luxurious hair. That's not a reference to Queen. This is me being dumb. Anyways, let's talk about this movie that was actually surprisingly good. I know my grandparents actually saw this movie. And that's how I see a lot of movies. I see movies with my grandparents. This one I did not. I was actually busy shopping at the mall. So that Hot Topic deal, they went to go see this movie while I was at the mall. So I unfortunately missed going with them. But that's what happens. You know, sometimes I see movies I don't really want to see with them. Because, you know, it's spending time with them and it's fun and I get to help them out when they're taking some of the younger kids and crap. And, you know, Spies in the Skies was just this movie I thought, oh, this looks pretty cool. Then you see it turns into a pigeon and it was like, come on. And I kind of don't like Tom Holland as an actor. I think he has been in some good stuff. The Current War last year was actually pretty good. That's a documentary, kind of. Yeah, documentary. Kind of showing you the events of the creation of the light bulb. And like the electric chair and different things like that. A lot of history there. It's a good movie. I recommend that one. I saw that one with my grandparents, and that was pretty good. They also did. He's in some other good things. I'm not thinking of it right now, but he's in this movie, and I just don't like MCU Spider-Man, and that's all Tom Holland does is his voice for MCU Spider-Man. So really, that's not his actual natural voice. It's a little sad that that's all he can do. But yeah, I didn't really have much faith in this. But then some reviews were coming out saying it was pretty good. And I thought, okay, well, I want to go see a movie. I haven't done that in a while. Let's go see Spies in the Skies. And this is a Blue Sky movie. These are the only two ones I own. I filmed this one for a while. I used to own all 5 Ice Age movies because they were kind of like movies from my childhood that I liked. But I just could not watch them anymore, so I had to get rid of them. And the first Ice Age is a great movie. I like that one. Sorry about the noise in the background. And I picked this one up on Black Friday, the Peanuts movie. It's like $4. And I like the Peanuts movies. Okay, I have a review for that, but yeah, they haven't really done too many good movies. They did the Ice Age movies, Rio 1 and 2. They did Robots, and then they did some other projects like Epic, which just didn't. None of those are good. Honestly, they have Some of them have good parts to them, like Epic, but they're just not good. It's just, no. I like these, I like Blue Sky as a studio, because I feel like they have creative potential, but they just don't do anything. And they're not making movies like Illumination, safe, bland, predictable garbage that nobody should ever watch. Like some, Robots, not a movie I like, but it's got enough weird ideas and it's playing around with things that makes it interesting. Same thing with Epic. It's like, okay, this doesn't work, but it's at least interesting, and I like that. And this is directed by 2 newcomers. I don't remember their names, but this is a really good movie. Surprisingly, Will Smith's character, which I'm not going to call him by his name because he is Will Smith in everything he's in. And he's this big spy, and he uses a lot of violence, and he's a big deal. He's a big deal. He's a big top spy, and he gets framed for something that for stealing something that the agency he works for needs, and now him and this character must team up because he thinks he's gonna turn invisible, but actually accidentally gets turned into a bird, and so that's the main conflict of the movie. He's this bird, and he needs to stop this guy from killing most of the spies at his agency. And they don't say it like in most family movies, like, oh, they don't sugarcoat. People die in this movie, and they say death, they say die, they say kill. The message of this movie is that you shouldn't use violence to solve all your problems, because it's wrong. It's wrong to. It's not. Well, they don't say it's wrong. They actually state it's necessary at times, but violence isn't always the right thing to do. In fact, there's kind of a twist with the villain relating to that theme of the movie that makes this whole story a lot better. Of course, we'll talk about that, but I'll warn you when I do. It's a little bit spoilery, so it's quite spoilery, but I think you should see this movie. If you have kids who want to see this movie, there are clever gags. There are jokes that I knew were kind of going to happen, like jokes about pigeon using the restroom, and like doing poop and crap, but the way that they do that is like smart. They use something that, like, a body part that only pigeons have, but most people don't know that they have, and so it's kind of like a smart thing in that. There's gags that you have to like stop and go, oh, that is pretty funny. You have to like stop and think about them. There's some really great stuff in this movie, like really funny stuff. I'm not gonna say it's like super laugh out loud funny. It's still really good though for parts of it, and the voice acting is pretty good from Tom Holland and Will Smith. I mean, even though I would have preferred they don't cast Will Smith, because of the fact Will Smith is just Will Smith. He's never gonna be anything other than that to me, because of the way Will Smith acts. But yeah, that's the way I feel about that. Alright, spoiler. So the spoiler of this movie is that the villain is this. Come on. It's nighttime and dog wanted to come to bed. He's so cute pushing the door open. Hey, you get in your cute little doggy bed. Yes, you do. Good boy. The daddy finished his movie review. Yes. I'm sorry. I'm weird with my animals. But that dog is like a son to me, okay? Just remember that. Don't ever trash my dog, because I'm gonna find you and I'm gonna break you. I'm gonna break you down psychologically. But the spoiler is that the villain actually knows Will Smith's character because he was in a fight with him where he used violence, killed multiple of his friends, and he lost an arm and part of his face. And Will Smith takes no note of this, that he did this, because this is just a daily routine for him. And that he just goes out and kills people like this. Because he uses violence, he creates an enemy that wants to kill people around him. But what's smart about it is they use Tom Holland's character, the genius inventor guy, and he uses a non-violent tactic to save the villain, because the villain's like, if you do this, you're gonna make us both die, and he saves both of them. But Tom Holland's character tried to save him, and he thought he was gonna die, but of course he lives because he's one of the main characters in a kids movie. But it's smart because the whole movie he's got this red eye because he's evil and he's mad, right? And he's in this little inflatable bubble which he got saved by, and his eye turns blue, and you just see it, the humanity there. It's like, this is a person that has taught me something and taught people around him something. And it's a smart movie for that reason. They're not saying violence is bad. They're saying if there is another way, use the other way. Because violence will never be bad. But it's only a last resort. And that's what I liked about this movie. That's a great message, and it really takes some thinking to really see that in this movie. And it also takes some thinking to kind of see some of the gags and things. So this is a pretty smart, well animated, pretty looking movie. And some of the cinematography in this movie is actually pretty good. The way this is basically moves like if this was a live action movie, which is pretty cool. And a lot of the action is actually super good, honestly. Yeah. And there's very little time with actually Will Smith being a pigeon, which I liked that quite a bit. So yeah, that was pretty cool. This is a pretty good movie, and it was a surprise. If I had not already made my list of 2019 favorite movies and underrated movies, this would be on it somewhere. This is a great movie. I'm going to be remembering a lot of this for a while. And I hope that more movies from Blue Sky come out like this. Interesting creative premises that seem really dumb, but they actually pull it off. And they make it work.